Okay, let's talk about what's going well in the garden and what's not going well. I'm in Charlotte, North Carolina, zone 7B. My average last frost date is April 15th, and my average first frost is around November 1st. So I have a good, decent sized growing season. And right now, we're going to start with the tomatoes in the grow bags, and these are going well. This is actually a succession round of tomatoes that were planted much later than tomatoes I'm going to show you over there in those raised metal beds. So those were planted out in April. They were started late this year due to a vacation, but these were planted a month or two later, but they're doing awesome. We've got lots of fruit forming. We've got good, healthy foliage. I'm using string and tomato clips to support these tomatoes. We've got lots of flowers on them. The one I just showed you is an indigo pear. And look at this. Have you ever noticed? So this is what I guess we'd call a normal tomato leaf. And then have you ever seen the potato leaf types of tomatoes? Their leaves just look much more like potato leaves. Very different. But all of these tomatoes are doing really great with fruit forming. And what I've got them in is I've got these in 7-gallon grow bags. These are not expensive grow bags. These are grow bags that I get off of Amazon. They're linked in my storefront. They're 7-gallon. They're filled with a variety of different peat-free organic potting mixes. And then I also add some of the Kick-Ass Frass plant food to each of my grow bags. On the end, I've got cowpeas that I just planted. These guys, they're basically indestructible. They don't care about heat. They don't care about humidity. They don't care about drought, and they actually prefer crappy soil. A couple of my pepper plants I'm doing in grow bags this year. This one is a Sugar Rush Peach, and it is doing really, really well. So this is something that's going well in the garden right now. I also have a rogue, I guess some type of squash or pumpkin. We won't know until it starts, there we go, till it forms its fruit. Figure out what it is exactly. I'm gonna just let that climb up the Frere trellis also. I really like this Frere trellis. I was able to add it to the garden so that I could expand my growing space out where I get more sun, because so much of my garden has become shaded. And then I just add a string to the end with all my tomato clips so that they're super handy for me to add them for support when I need to. All right, so here's more tomatoes in grow bags. And the reason I'm able to use these crappy metal tomato cages is because these are all dwarf tomatoes. So they're not going to get more than 4 to 5 feet tall. And they are doing awesome. They all are setting fruit. This one is getting ready to start blushing, so I'm gonna pick this one soon. This one's strawberry lemonade. So these are doing well, but look what I just noticed. So this one has blossom end rot, and that's okay. I'm just gonna take it off. Blossom end rot, I'm not gonna add any calcium. Everybody rushes out to add calcium. It's usually you have plenty of calcium and the plant's just not able to uptake it correctly because of inconsistent watering. And we've had crazy rain, and I feel like that's the issue. So, but I also have, I just want to show you, like, getting some disease, a little bit of disease on the leaves with all the rain that we've had, and that's okay. So those are doing really well also. And I've never grown dwarf tomatoes before. This is my first year. So I'm growing things like chocolate lightning, Tasmanian chocolate, strawberry lemonade. What else do I have in there? Some really interesting, fun varieties. So let's look at some of my more traditional tomatoes. These are in the raised metal beds with these big tomato cages. And periodically I have to come over and just make sure, get back in there, that they grow inside of the cage. But I do love these cages. They're super sturdy. Here, get back inside. There you go. These are sun gold. They're starting to get some that are ready, and a weed. But these are also doing really, really well. And anytime I see any leaves that are starting to look not good, I just come over, rip those off. All right. And the pepper plants in this bed are doing great. I just planted new cucumbers. This is actually an experiment. This is in one of those Eco Plus Proven Winners pots that it's made from plants, and it has nutrients in the walls of the container. And then this one's just planted regular without a pot. We're going to do a little experiment on that. Find my coffee. All right, over here on this arch, which is growing really well, we've got a tromboncino squash. I love growing tromboncino squash because they are squash vine borer resistant. I have given up growing zucchini in my yard. It's just not happening. And then also on this trellis, we've got loofah and cucamelon and black-eyed Susan vine and some Thai long beans. And they are all going really well. I've got strawberries in the gutter planters. I have a YouTube video up with these gutter planters, and they are just still producing. I typically put things that have shallow roots in the gutter planters, like lettuce and strawberries. And I'll show you the lettuce on the other side of the garden. Now, this is going great. These are cucamelons. We're going to have a lot of cucamelons this year, I've realized. A lot. So not going great. The kale is really getting hit hard with things that are eating it, and it's just kind of starting to peter out. So the kale will probably finish up soon. All right, something that's not going well is our cucumbers. The first round of cucumbers were planted on this horse fencing, and something's eating the leaves. It also probably has downy mildew. I don't care. I'm not going to do anything about that. But it's just like they're not producing. What have we got? We've got an Armenian and a painted serpent and a dragon's egg. And the dragon's egg one, which also has downy mildew, is the only one that has produced any cucumbers. We've gotten 2. That's it. So I've learned that maybe don't put the cucumbers in this bed. They're not super happy. I'll put them somewhere else next year. But I don't know what is just going to town on them. See our giant dirt pile? Husband is... So, yeah, I don't know. Is this going well or not going well? Husband is attempting to level out a big area to do a fire pit. Okay, going well are the blueberries. We've got bird netting on top of them because otherwise we would get none. But I do need to get out here today and pick a bunch of blueberries. All right, not going well. This bed has peppers in it, but you can't really tell because they are not growing very well. And I wonder if it's because I didn't take out the celery and the Swiss chard and the kale when I planted them because I was too sad to take them out. But now I think they're getting out-competed for sun. All right, here's going well. This is the dahlia bed. Unfortunately, the big guy in the front is shading everybody out, so he's going to get moved next year. But all these dahlias and cosmos are doing really well. That guy's getting ready to open. Got little cosmos peeking out around the sides. So the dahlias are doing great. Here's more of the tomatoes, the first round of tomatoes. Got sun gold in here, indigo pear, Kellogg's breakfast, which actually, now that I look at it, the Kellogg's breakfast has not put on any fruit. It's got flowers, but it has not put on any fruit. Whereas the many of the cherry tomatoes they're putting on fruit like gangbusters. What is this one? Oh, this is the Indigo Rose. I think that's going to be beautiful. Going well are the Vanilla Improved Hybrid White Marigolds. I'm loving these. Not going well are the Kilimanjaro White Marigolds. So they get super tall, which is kind of cool, but their flowers are not as beautiful, and they're just not really blooming very much. They're super late to the party. Not going well. This was the edamame bed. Definitely not going well. Between it not getting enough sun and something eating all the edamame plants, yeah, we're not going to get any edamame this year. Look, here's our edamame. That's okay. We'll do something different here next year. We'll do stuff that likes more shade in this bed next year, and we'll make sure to put the edamame in a bed with full sun. All right, going well are adding some shade plants to the borders of the garden area with Japanese painted ferns, hellebores, heuchera, toad lilies. Lots of I've popped in lots of hydrangeas back here just to make the space look nicer. Hostas, heuchera, hellebore, hydrangea. So that's looking really nice. I would like to do something in the fountain other than lamb's ear for a pop of color. All right, this, y'all, I'm really excited about. Oh, well, I'll tell you what I'm really excited about in just a second. But here is some of the gutter lettuce. I need to transplant this. I did transplant this row recently, popped it in the ground over there. It needs a minute to bounce back. It's not looking great. What I want to show you is, this is a cup and saucer vine. I've never grown it before. Here are what the flower blooms start to look like. These very interesting, closed up, like purpley green pods. Okay, so then they start to open and they look like this green flower opening. And then they have a tinge of purple. Then they get more purple. And then finally, look at this, was the first one to open. Look how beautiful that one is. I'm loving this. And it was, had poor germination on the seeds. Only one survived. It was super slow to get going. But now that it's going, it's doing awesome. I'm definitely growing this again next year. All right, something I'm contemplating doing. So here's my garden shed. I've been going down the rabbit hole of YouTube videos all morning about doing a living roof. And I think I'm going to build a frame, put a pond liner, and then some felt, and do a living roof on that side of the garden shed. I think that'll be super cool. Okay, let's look at these tomatoes. We got some, these are Cherokee purple. We've got fruit forming over here. And then we've got some leaves that aren't looking great. I need to get rid of these leaves. But this plant has no fruit set yet. But we need to go on the other side. I'll show you. This is a Castelluto Genovese. It has the most wonderful like ridges. I think it's a basket style tomato, and it's going gangbusters. Lots of fruit on that one. I'm so excited for some of the tomatoes to start ripening. Something else that is going really well is this compost pile. It has started to cool down. It was sitting at 140 and we've dropped below 130. I'm going to wait till it hits probably 110. And then I'm going to flip it into the empty bin where I've been collecting garden clippings. And over here, we've got the pile. This is the pile that is resting. I'm waiting for it to cool down to ambient air temperature, so I think it needs to come down probably another 10 degrees. Once it comes down to ambient air temperature, then I'm going to let it sit for another month or two, and then I'll be able to use it in the garden. So that is what's going well. Tomatoes are going well. Cucumbers are not going well. Peppers are not going well. Dahlias are going well. Cup and saucer vine is going well. Overall, just super happy. I'm just happy if, a few things are going well. It makes up for anything not going well. You guys have any questions about anything I'm showing you? Let me know. I'm not seeing any comments or questions. So I think we'll probably end it there. Oh, let me show you one more thing. I say that, I'll probably end up showing you 10 more things. This is a purple hyacinth bean vine. And I really love this. The hummingbirds and the pollinators love it. Look at the fun. I mean, even the seed pods are beautiful in addition to the flowers. The front of the vine did break off. So I don't think it's going to keep growing like any further taller. So I'm going to go plant more of these today. I'm going to start more seeds for this today. And I will probably start harvesting, once these dry out, start harvesting some of these straw flowers to use in, and let them dry, to use in winter arrangements, and cut these guys way back, see if they bloom again. All right, Seawick 1991 asked what type of vine. If you're asking about this is a purple hyacinth bean vine. So I don't grow it to eat the beans. And actually, I feel like there's some people that say you should and some people that say you shouldn't eat the beans. I grow it for these purple flowers that the pollinators love. And last year, this entire, we'll call it an arbor, was completely covered in the vine. But I accidentally broke the growing tip of this one off, so I think I need to plant some more. Oh, I forgot to show you guys something else. Here we go. It was never one more thing. Look at this type of basil. I don't even know what type of basil this is, but the leaves, the leaves are huge. They're bigger than my hand, and they just look fun and crinkly. I wonder if there's a tag anywhere. I don't see it. Also, get out of here. I think I should taste it. I haven't tasted it yet. Make sure there's no worms hiding on the bottom. All right, I'm gonna taste it. Because, I've tasted some basils that are beautiful, especially some of the dark purple ones, and they've tasted really bitter to me. All right, this one, I'm not sure what I think. It has a strong, almost mint flavor to it. Let's go find a regular basil plant for me to taste. I don't know if I like that, but it looks cool. All right, so here's a regular basil plant. Make sure there's no worms. All right. This has more of the traditional basil flavor, but God, it also tastes a little bit minty. Oh no. Well, I forgot to make sure this guy was inside the cage. Oh, okay. Well, all right, you're just done. But know what I can do with this? Broken piece. I'm going to cut off the flowers, and I'm going to go stick this in some water. Let's go do it. And it'll just make a whole new tomato plant. Oh, forgot to show you over here. Look at the pumpkin on a stick. I checked this the other day and no fruit was forming, but now look at them. All of these guys will become these little miniature orange pumpkin looking things, but it's not part of the pumpkin family. It's actually part of the eggplant family. And what you do is they sell them at Trader Joe's. So you'll take all the leaves off and just have these little cute orange pumpkins on a stick. Because look, let me show you. Holy crap. Can you guys see? You see those spikes? This plant is no joke. Be careful. Like, it's just got all kinds of look at that. That's a big spike. All right, let's go put our tomato plant. I think that hollyhock is done. It kind of fell over in the rain. The foxglove fell over in the rain. Good morning, Keo Herb Garden Fairy Grandma. How are you? Okay. So over here, I've got, oh, look, can you see what's been here? I had a slug visitor last night. Okay, look at this guy. So this is a tomato that I popped in water, obviously a while ago. Look at all the roots that formed. He needs to get potted up for sure. But here's an empty, we'll put this guy, you know what, I'm gonna take off. There we go. Pop that in there. There we go. This was, oh, it's got new growth on it. I was trying to root a rose cutting, but it's looking pretty rough, but I'm just gonna keep trying. We'll see what happens. And then up here, I'm rooting Purple Heart. Let's see, do you guys have any roots? Yes, we've got roots. So I could pot some of these guys up today. And then I also popped in, I don't know if this is gonna work or not. These are Star Jasmine vine cuttings. We'll see if they take root. Okay, that's it for the morning garden tour. What's going well, what's not going well. Overall, I'm very happy this year with how things are going. I'll see you guys later.